So over the last couple of years, you might have noticed that mobile gaming, well, it's really starting to pick up. And a huge part of that definitely has to do with devices such as the, Nintendo Switch 2 and the Steam Deck and other devices getting a whole lot more powerful. And folks, as somebody who's been a desktop capital G gamer, I gotta admit, yes, they've definitely been getting a whole lot more powerful. And one that I saw recently and had some hands-on time with, well, it really blew me away for a number of reasons, but I gotta say the number one reason was the screen, and we will get into that, but just get ready. This thing is an OLED screen that's probably the best I've ever seen on a mobile device. It is absolutely mind-blowing crazy, and it makes me actually want to finally own one of these mobile devices. I really want to test this one. I'm going to go ahead and reach out to ASUS to try and get you guys a full review, but just get ready. This thing is crazy. But before we get any further, thank you to ASUS for sending me the 2026 ROG Zephyrus Duo and making my Computex editing even possible. With two 16-inch HDR 1000 True Black displays, the Zephyrus Duo is the only laptop on the market that you can use like a real desktop replacement with large enough screens, since the second screen can be unfolded to reach eye level and the keyboard can be detached so you don't have to hunch over a tiny screen. But now back to the video. So what I'm talking about is the ASUS ROG Ally X20. Now this thing is essentially going to be a slight improvement over the last generation ROG Xbox Ally X. But again, the screen is where I think it really definitely separates itself. But let's take a look at all these specs, and I'll talk to you guys about why I was so impressed and what my thoughts were when I had my hands-on experience with it, not too long ago. So the ROG Ally X20 is going to be using the AMD Ryzen AI Z2 Extreme processor, which is going to have, up to 8 cores and 16 threads, as well as, of course, it's going to have AI performance, but it's also going to have a 16-core GPU inside. Now, that GPU itself is actually very impressive because it can run, in theory, up to 2900 megahertz, depending on how much power it's being fed. Now, if you're somebody who's a Steam Deck user, you might actually be really interested in this handheld device because, in theory, think of the Steam Deck OLED, but just way, way better. This thing is really, really powerful for something that's going to be a handheld device. Now, I will tell you guys, it's not tiny. When I had my hands on this thing, it is, it's a little bit more beefy, but it's also not enormous. I think it does land in kind of a sweet spot, and in my hands, it did feel pretty comfortable as well. So to get that much power in a fairly comfortable and I'd say somewhat lightweight device is a pretty impressive feat. Now, as for the rest of the specs of this thing, I will let you guys know, warning, it is running Windows 11 Home, so expect some Windows goofiness, I guess, with this device. That's probably gonna be my main gripe with the device. I imagine you're gonna run into some problems. Some things are gonna make it a little bit irritating to use from time to time. Now, in theory, you could potentially put SteamOS on there, and that might actually be a good idea, but I don't know how well it's gonna do with the processor that's in there. Only time will tell. But we gotta move on to the other specs. So, on top of the processor that's in there, you're also getting 24 gigabytes of LPDDR5X memory on board. Now, that's some super fast memory, and that is a lot of memory as well. So this is not only giving you a good GPU and CPU, but also enough memory that basically any task you would do on this device, you should be able to run basically everything at whatever settings you want, do whatever you want on this device, and really not run into any major problems. So that's a really huge deal. Although, these days, 24 gigabytes of RAM, what is the price going to be like? Again, wait for it. We'll talk about that, but I would expect, just get ready, it's going to be very expensive. 24 gigabytes in the day of AI is that's practically a fortune, so get ready. But you are going to be also getting a 1 terabyte PCIe 4.0 NVMe M.2 SSD, essentially a super fast SSD that would be on par with anything you'd get in a console or PC. That's definitely going to be more than good enough. And for storage on a mobile device, I actually do think that's pretty good out of the box. Of course, I'm sure you'll be able to upgrade it as well. But you're also going to be getting, in terms of the IO ports here, a 3.5 millimeter jack, USB-C, Thunderbolt, with DisplayPort 2.1, which is pretty crazy, and FreeSync support, which is a really big deal. That means you're going to be getting variable refresh rate, similar to something like G-Sync on Nvidia. That's a really good thing to see. And you're also going to be getting a micro SD Express card reader as well. And I'll throw everything on screen so you can see the exact details. But there, I'll also show you on screen all the various different buttons and everything that's available on this. Everything, it's everything you would expect. However, I will tell you guys there's a new feature, and I'll show you on their website. They actually have an animation of it that there's so many people, it's hard for me to get some good angles for you, but I will tell you, you can actually change the D-pad so that it can be a regular D-pad, or it can be more of a circular design, so you can really get, whatever type of experience you want out of it. And I thought it was really cool. Hopefully that's not going to be a failure point, but I did think it was really interesting for the type of different games you might want to play on it. And then it does also have, in terms of audio here, pause if you need to, but apparently it has high-res certification for headphones, as well as AI noise canceling, and 2 speakers on board as well. And you are going to be getting Wi-Fi 6E triple band, Bluetooth 5.4, and in terms of the battery, an 80 watt-hour battery, which is actually pretty crazy. Now for the power supply, apparently you can do 68 watts over Type-C, which means you are going to be able to run this thing, pretty well, whether you're on the wall or if you're going to be out and about gaming on this device. So everything that we're seeing in terms of the specs looks really, really good. I mean, an 80 watt-hour battery, plenty of memory and storage all in one device. But again, I promised you guys the best was yet to come, and that is the screen. Now, screens are something that I have an unhealthy obsession with, and I will tell you guys, I'm very critical on them. And what do I think about this? And the screen that they're showing off is a 7.4 inch. That's a pretty big screen for a mobile device. 1920 by 1080, which I think is a very respectable resolution for a gaming device of this size. Apparently it's gonna have some anti-reflection properties to it with Gorilla Glass, which is a great coating. That means you're getting a glossy coating for a crystal clear type of experience. I can tell you that is absolutely true when I used it myself. But it's a 120 hertz display as well, with 600 nits of SDR brightness and up to 1400 nits of HDR brightness. Now that is an unbelievably high amount of brightness for really any OLED display, because yes, this is going to be an OLED display, but for a mobile device to be able to hit those levels of numbers in a gaming device with also Dolby Vision HDR support and FreeSync Premium Pro, that is an unbelievably good screen, and that alone, on top of all the other specs, is going to make this an awesome gaming device. I mean, 120 hertz OLED with better HDR than any monitor can deliver on the market today is crazy. That is just such a crazy good experience. I can tell you, yeah, it looked just so awesome in my hands when I was using that thing. I was like, this thing is just incredible. Now, I will say the viewing angles aren't as good as something like a QD OLED monitor, but you're gonna be using it like this, it's gonna be in front of your face. You're not gonna be using this thing off angle. That doesn't make any sense. So I don't think that's gonna be an issue whatsoever. And the 1080p screen, sure, it's not a 4K monitor. And of course, 4K monitors and TVs will resolve more detail, but for a screen that's going to be like this large, I think that's definitely a good enough resolution and a good pairing for the processing power that's going to be available on this device. So should also be getting, AMD just announced that apparently they're going to be making an FSR 4.1 Lite version for upscaling support on these RDNA 3.5 devices, because yes, that's the GPU inside of this. It's technically a step between the current generation desktop GPU and last generation desktop GPU in terms of GPU design, to get kind of into the weeds of it a little bit there. But what that does mean is that you should be able to upscale from like 720p or even a lower resolution and still get a good output on this device. Now, I don't believe that this upscaling technique is available yet for these devices, but it should be coming soon. So hopefully by the time this device launches, you'll be able to use upscaling as well, which will make a huge difference in terms of performance, finally making these handheld devices a lot more usable. That's also a huge deal. So the software and hardware is looking really great. This looks awesome. What about the price and release date? And get ready, because this is going to at first be available in a bundle. Now, the bundle itself is going to come with their new XR glasses, and I got a chance to use those as well. They're really awesome, and they do actually work surprisingly well. They do have OLED inside those glasses as well. However, if you don't want that, you're going to have to pay a lot for this whole bundle, and the whole bundle itself is being estimated to be in excess of $2,000. Now, if you want to wait and not buy the bundle, it is, I would estimate likely a price point of around $1,500 today. And that's not including if AI makes things even more expensive. So it could be even more than $1,500 in the future. And that is just crazy for a mobile device. So you are going to have to pay up for it. And it's probably also going to be coming, a little bit later this year is what it sounds like. I believe I saw around like quarter 3 or quarter 4 of this year, but I think it's going to be close to October for the release date for this device. If you guys do want to see a review on it, let me know in the comments below. I do think this is like, my third or fourth video on this channel. So if you want to get subscribed to be up to date on reviews and news on mobile devices, including laptops, handheld gaming, as well as, phones and other mobile devices, make sure you guys get subscribed. I have a ton more content coming, and let me know in the comments below if you would spend, upwards of $1,500 or more on a mobile gaming device, or do you think something like the Nintendo Switch is already good enough?